Hi, I'm Lloyd Freeman. I'm the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer at Buchanan, Ingersoll and Rooney. And in 2006, I was a scholarship recipient from the Barristers Association of Philadelphia. I can distinctly remember receiving the scholarship from the Barristers Association. Back then, we actually got paper checks from the Barristers. And Sherman Toppin, who became a good friend of mine, he was the president back in the day. And I went to the bank to go and cash the check, just to realize that Sherman and Joel Trotter never signed the scholarship check. So I did not get my scholarship immediately, but they made up for it, took me out to a fancy lunch, and I still got my scholarship check, and it really helped me out with paying for law school. When I received the scholarship, it was right after I had done an unpaid judicial internship for the summer. So it made it very, very hard for me to be able to just generally afford being a law student, having an unpaid job. And I had not yet began my summer associate position. So the Barristers Association money was just in time for me and truly helped me out to get through that second year of law school. The Barristers is family. For me, being someone who moved to the Philadelphia area and did not have any family that is local, the Barristers Association, they welcomed me. From the time that I was a law student and received that scholarship until present day, the Barristers Association has truly been my circle. They've been my confidants. I actually received the scholarship with my best friend, Fabiana Pierre-Louis. And so at the time, we were our Rutgers BALSA president and vice president. And now Fabiana has gone on to become a justice on the New Jersey Supreme Court. And so truly the friends that you make in Barristers, they will be your friends for a lifetime, and even their journeys will inspire you. Our kids are growing up together and they play together. We vacationed together. We were in each other's weddings. And so the Barristers Association is truly family. All of those individuals who you're seated with right now at the gala, you will continue throughout your careers, but also in your personal lives, to keep these people close, and they'll inspire you at every juncture.
Hi, my name is Nadja Jacobs, and I'm a fifth-year associate at Berger Montague in their mass torts and antitrust practice groups. And in 2015, I received a scholarship from the Barristers Association of Philadelphia. For me, the scholarship was a blessing. For me, it meant less hours at work and more time studying, which allowed me to do my very best my first year. I remember getting the phone call, I think it was from Shabri Parker, and I was super excited because I learned later that my best friend, Adesola Adebasin, who's also an attorney, had got the scholarship as well. So for me, receiving the Barrister Scholarship was a blessing because it meant less hours at work and more time studying, which allowed me to do my very best my first year of law school. Sitting here today, when I think of the Barristers Association and the trajectory of my career and the attorneys who have been there the entire time, I think of three people: Amber Racine, Kevin Harden Jr., and Lloyd Freeman, all barristers. And when I think of the barristers, I think of impact. The Barristers Association has had an impact on my life as a law student and continues to do so today. That's why I think it's important that we continue to sow into the next generation of lawyers, to give them the resources and tools they need so that they can be impacted and they can influence the next generation of lawyers. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Charles Gibbs, and I'm an attorney at McMonagle, Perry, McHugh, and Meshack in Philadelphia. In the years 2007 and 2009, I received scholarships from the Barristers Association to help with my tuition at Widener Law School. I don't remember exactly where I was when I found out I received the scholarship, but I do remember that one of the scholarships came with a laptop. And that laptop is what I used to get through the bar exam and through classes. I remember telling my family that a group of African-American lawyers was helping me to finance the expensive cost of law school, and everyone was overjoyed. I'm a past president of the Barristers, and there's nothing more humbling than standing on a stage in May and giving out scholarships to young people who are becoming members of our profession. When you look at our history and think about how we started almost 70 some years ago to where we are now, it is the constant sowing in to the next generation that has propelled and sustained us, not only as a community, but as an organization. What do the barristers mean to me? It's one simple word: family. This is our first gala that we've had since I've been active without Professor, Dean, President Joanne Epps. Her spirit will be in that room because she has impacted the careers of so many people, and it is fitting that we honor her this year as we always have, with remembering her sacrifice and her service by our
My
actions.
name is Geneva Campbell Brown. I currently serve as the Chief Diversity Officer for the Cigna Group in my role as Vice President and Global Head of DE&I and ESG for our company. And in 2011, I received a scholarship from the Barristers Association. I remember the moment when I showed up to receive the scholarship from the Barristers. I attended the event with both of my parents, and I remember Amber Racine greeting us. And she was so wonderfully loving and warm, and she was so congratulatory. She focused on why my application stood out. She remembered my background and the things that I shared. And I remember in that moment, my mom took a deep breath. And what she said was that if these are the type of people that you will interact with when you become a lawyer, then I feel really safe leaving you in the hands of that village. To me, the Barristers Association reminds me of family. It helps me to ensure that I'm deliberate and focused on nurturing a village for all of the lawyers that come before me, that come after me, to make sure that we're all using our collective strengths to lift each other up and to lift as we climb for the next generation of lawyers. It's essential that we continue to invest in our communities and we create a safe space to nurture each other, nurture the city in which we practice, and use our platform to do good and do better. The wonderful thing about the Barristers Association is how we foster excellence through this scholarship. This was really an opportunity for me to embrace the parts of my background about my work ethic that were influential, that gave me confidence, that were excellent. And it was so important to me that the barristers, the people that I encountered, were willing to celebrate me, but also forced me to pursue this idea of excellence. It made me so much more driven because it reminded me that through this practice of law, I needed to work hard, in some instances work harder, but my work would pay off, that there were others who wanted to invest in me, who wanted to see my future as something brighter than I even saw it at the time that I was a law student. And so it is essential that we all continue to give back to the barristers. It's part of our responsibility to ensure that we keep making that investment because we have the opportunity to inspire someone who will change the world.
Hi, my name is Reginald Streeter. I am a trial attorney at Feldman Shepard on the plaintiff side, practicing catastrophic injury, medical malpractice, and also in the civil rights space. I'm also the president of the Philadelphia Board of Education, where I oversee 200,000 students, charter schools and public traditional schools, and a budget of $4.5 billion. And I am a 2017 Barristers Scholarship recipient. Where was I when I received the email? I was actually, so I think it's important to note that I was a non-traditional student. So I had a whole career working in restaurant and hospitality space. Also two very young children. And I remember trying to balance all of that while sitting on my couch, trying to, coddle my son who was crying. And I remember checking my emails in the midst of me preparing for exams and studying as I should as a law student and getting that email. And I remember being overwhelmed with joy because in addition to the funds, which actually helped me to take a few extra days off that year to prepare for probably my best year in law school, I also was able to just kind of feel the warmth that flowed from an institution that looked like me and cares about the interests that I care about as a future Black attorney. I think it's interesting when you become an attorney and you're a Black attorney. And as you know, as we ascend, sometimes there's not a lot of us in spaces that we navigate. But to me, the Barristers is home. It's a place where I see people who look like me, who engage in some of the issues that I engage with, but also deal with the microaggression and the macroaggressions that we face every day, and also have an analogous lens on the law and how it should be used for justice. And also just a great place to just come home and just, chop it up with people, who you came up through the ranks with. So that's the importance of the Barristers to me, right? Also, it's a space that lifts as it climbs, and I still aspire to do that. Definitely when I see barristers on someone's resume, or if I see barristers in someone's LinkedIn post, not granting access, but, there's a little bit of extra, I want to talk to this person. So that's what it means for me. as far as reaching back as you climb, I mean, that's the whole purpose, right? I'm a very African centered, and I believe that, and I believe the Barristers aligns with this mechanism that we have to always look back as we climb, because if we don't want to be the last ones through the door. We want to keep the door open for others. I think the gala is just, there's two big events that are where we kind of get to show up and show out, let our hair down a little bit, no pun intended, but I think that the gala is a space, again, where we get to celebrate Black excellence. It recenters us, especially those of us who practice and are very, very busy and, can't be around the barristers as much. And you get to see kind of your judges, you get to see the law students, you get to see people who've been practicing for a little bit, longer in the tooth, shorter in the tooth, less season, more season, kind of come together and just remember why we exist, but also get to have fun with each other. So I'm looking forward to the gala this year because I need that rejuvenation that I get always in the gala. We get it twice a year in January with the MLK breakfast, and then the gala.
Hi, my name's Janine Lewis. I'm Assistant General Counsel at the Vanguard Group, and I received the Barrister Scholarship in 2011. I do not remember exactly what I did when I first learned that I received the scholarship, but I do remember being very excited. The announcement or the letter that was sent to me came from Amber Racine, and that was actually the first time I met her, a dear barrister that so many of us hold very near and dear. In terms of what I did with the scholarship money, I have no idea. I probably used it to pay for the very expensive law school books that we had to read. What does the Barristers Association mean to me? So much. The Barristers mean so much in so many things during different periods of my career. I can think about the Barristers being the first place that I encountered my first mentors and sponsors. And so for law students, I think the organization is a great place for you to build network and relationship with people that can help you evolve. There were times where the Barristers was a place where I found community, still find community, and a safe place to think through what I want to do with my life and how to pursue the practice. And so I think for all lawyers and law students, it certainly is an environment where you can find that fellowship and sense of community. And when I think about the legacy of the Barristers, I feel like you cannot talk about the Black lawyer in Philadelphia without talking about the impact and the influence the Barristers has had in this industry. The Barristers is all about legacy. Going back to what it means to so many of us, we truly cannot talk about the legacy of the Black legal experience, the Black lawyer experience in Philadelphia without mention of the Barristers.